All right, here we go again.
Hi, Mark. Get set, go!
Hey,
Hi!
everybody. Welcome to Live from the Owl's Nest. I'm Jamie.
I'm Alicia.
And together we are Royal Wise Computer Software Training and Support, specializing in QuickBooks Online, Microsoft Office, and all things
Apple.
Apple. Yay, I hate saying that together.
Oh, okay, I'll stop.
That's okay. So, hey, what's going on? I feel like spring has sprung. We had a beautiful 70-something degree day here in Portland, and today we're back to rain.
We had one day.
Hey, the Pacific Northwest, if we can't complain about the weather, what can we do, right? I think
There's nothing else to complain about.
Well, it's a pastime that we have to do that. So, but let's complain about our industries.
We got a lot on that one.
Yeah.
today.
So I saw Intuit in the news yesterday.
Yes, they are.
What did TurboTax do now?
So I consider this both good news and bad news, but I actually consider it mostly good news. I got to sit on the, I got to be on the right side of ethics around here. Intuit has just, I don't know if they settled the lawsuit, won the lawsuit, lost, whatever. There was a lawsuit, there was an outcome, and they were taken to task for deceptive advertising practices with TurboTax, that their commercials were all saying free, 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 but they actually intentionally worked to divert people away from their free tax prep services to their paid tax prep services. Mostly that's because what is free is when you have just a completely simple, straightforward W-2 tax form, nothing special. You don't own any houses, you don't have any mortgages, you don't have anything that has to be declared when it, and there's actually very few people who fall into that category. And so they got you in saying it was going to be free, and then it turned out not to be free. So they were kind of taken to task for that and got their wrists slapped. And so they are actually going to be paying out $141 million to people who actually paid for TurboTax services in the last, I don't know if it was last year or in the last few years. Personally, I think ethics are important. And as much as I am a fan of everything that Intuit does in the world, this was one where I was really glad to see that they're being held accountable.
Well, I mean, we work with the customer, right? We're customer facing. We help people that use this software learn how to use it. We want the companies that we support to live up to their promises, and if not, go ahead and make sure they make the right reparations.
There's reparations,
right?
repercussions,
right? All the different R's. So again, if the people are going to get paid back, good.
Really, really happy for that.
Great.
Yeah. Well, what's going on in yours?
Funny enough, it's just another corporate clash that turns out Facebook lost, 30% of their market share in a couple of days. And so Zuckerberg has announced that he's going to put a hold on hiring within all departments. And so Facebook is all agog. And so in his announcement, he decided to blame 2 or 3 things. And his number one thing to blame was Apple's new app tracking transparency feature. The fact that Apple has provided privacy settings to their users that say that this app can't track my behavior and can't report it over to that app has stopped the Facebook Pixel from targeting their advertising. And now Facebook is losing revenue based on ads that can't target as well as they used to. And he is blaming it directly on Tim Cook and Apple, saying that Apple is affecting our bottom line. We're losing money, we're losing ad revenue, and we're losing market share because of it, and it's all Apple's fault. I think that may be a little overblown. It definitely is affecting them, don't get me wrong. But what I've got to say about Apple and what Tim Cook's implemented with this little this ATT thing is it's your choice. It's a setting that you can opt in or opt out of. They didn't force it on anybody. Now, unfortunately, with every pop-up, the wording's a little vague. If you get a pop-up that says, do you want this app to be able to track you? You're going to say no matter what you really think. Sometimes the ad tracking is cool. I like to actually get a targeted ad and not something that I have no interest in. Right. Yeah. I don't necessarily have a conspiracy-minded approach that they're doing something else nefarious with my data. If I'm looking to buy some barbecue gear, I'd love ads for barbecue gear. Hey, like bring it to me.
Yeah, I sit on both sides of the issue, because as a business owner, we are actually using Facebook ads to let people know about our classes. And if we can't specifically target people, it means I'm just throwing money away. On the flip side, I like seeing all the different D&D dice that are out there that I'm not going to buy, but at least I get to look at all the pretties. So, I like my Facebook ad tracking, and I turn it on.
Yeah, the other thing that we heard in the news, just like kind of newsy Apple stuff, Warren Buffett came out and said that he has probably bought over $500 million in Apple stock in the last couple of months. That is, Berkshire Hathaway has been investing in Apple. He sees it as a good long-term hold, and that next year he's expecting to buy millions, if not $1 billion more. So if Warren Buffett thinks this is a good long-term strategy, then I feel better about it. So
that's a good place to put your money
also
on.
The stock market is dumping right now. I think we lost 1,000 points on the Dow just today. All stocks are going down. Apple is not looking good for the year to date, not looking good for the month. When you go out to a year or 2 years, yeah, we're still ahead of we're still growing, but we've lost a lot also, just like Facebook and everybody else has, just because the market is dropping. But what does that mean? Maybe it's a good time to buy. Right? Maybe it's a good time to look at the market and see kind of where you want your investment to go for the recovery. So sometimes a dip is a good thing, because then we can buy some more stock.
This may be a good time to buy some Intuit stock now too.
Well, yeah, right. Okay, great. We are not giving any sort of financial advice, by the way. A little disclaimer here. We are software trainers. Do not listen. Don't listen to that at all, because we don't know.
Don't do what I say.
Yeah.
Right.
Unless it's
no
software.
Financial. Yes, no stock financial advice. I'll give you other financial advice based on your books, but
so what can you tell them that they should do? Do you got any good trainings or classes coming up that would help guide them through?
Actually, the
help them overcome the hurdle of technology to connect better with their lives.
Sure. The class that I have coming up, I just finished a whole Excel series going through beginning Excel, intermediate Excel functions and formulas, and pivot tables. So if you do need Excel training, I have a brand new fresh set of courses, and you can go find them at learn.royalwise.com. My June class is something I have not taught since 2019. PowerPoint. So PowerPoint is still used to make slide decks for webinars, especially now that we have this Zoom world. It's a great way to create a slide deck that steers a conversation. It's also a great way to make artwork and create graphics without having to have a lick of art talent. And so I use PowerPoint for that myself. So I will be having a PowerPoint class coming up on June 2nd. How about you? You teaching?
I just got through my iPhone iPad series, 3 great classes. First one was like all the basics, the functionality of the operating system. Second one was navigating inside of apps, and also kind of how to tame Siri and leverage Siri and dictation. And then the class I just did last week is the camera app and the photos app. And with the new iPhone 13 and the Pro, it's got 3 cameras, ultra wide, panorama stuff, a lot of new features in the camera app. I got some great feedback from students saying that class was really, really powerful, because they just hadn't had the time to look around or dig deep into like what settings are there, and how do you can you switch from like 1080 to 4K video resolution on the fly, and what is this new night mode thing? We had a lot of fun
night mode is
playing
really cool.
Playing with night mode. And also, this is kind of funny. You see us here in the studio all the time. We got our new green screen and different things. In that class, I ended up showing people the studio, because I had to take the phone under the desk to mimic night mode, and I did I took a panorama picture of the studio with all 3 monitors and the tissue box and the stuffed owls. And so if you come and watch the cameras class, you get a tour of
little behind the scenes of all the stuff around us that you don't see outside.
You normally don't see in the camera frame. I thought that was one of the funnest parts, was kind of the show and tell of the cables underneath the desk and trying to keep my feet out of it. And, it was.
What was cracking me up is when he was doing the Siri training, and my Siri around the house kept going off. Like all of a sudden music would start playing or the news would go.
Yeah, the HomePods are a little funny. If you don't have any the HomePod minis or the HomePods, there's a couple things going on with that. If you say, "Hey Siri," and you're anywhere near it, the HomePod is going to be the first thing to pipe up if that's not what you were wanting. And I actually sat at a desk downstairs, and my phone was near an HomePod Mini, and it kept saying, "Get closer and tap here," so that the music transfer. I wasn't playing any music, and I would like try my phone every 30 seconds was popping this little thing up. I had to actually go and turn a setting off so that the proximity, the HomePod Mini proximity warning would stop nagging me.
And I had to unplug my HomePod while he was teaching because it kept trying to tell me whatever he was doing. It was really big brothery.
Hey, I love HomePods. Don't get me wrong.
I love mine too.
I love my HomePod.
The sound is amazing. Yeah.
Upcoming classes, they're not on the schedule yet, but they will be hopefully by the end of the week, beginning of next week. I'm going to be doing my Spring Clean Your Mac class, 1 hour on how to tell how much hard drive space you have left and how to optimize your machine. Do you need a new machine, or can you just kind of tweak this one? Talking about some checking for malware, and also an internet securities concerns class. We're going to be talking about internet security. And by the way, there is a new thing happening. I've got 5 calls this week about it. It's a pop-up. The people are getting, I think it's coming out of side ads, specifically in email, web-based mail programs. Somebody said they were on a recipe website and it happened, but it takes over your whole screen. It says that it's a Windows detection, or the Windows security detection, and they're on Apple machines. It's not even on Windows, which is a dead giveaway that it's a fake pop-up. But it looks like the Windows Defender screen. It looks just like it. Across the top, it's got a little thing that says your computer is disabled. Now, it's not true. Everything on these pop-ups are fake and false. There's an alarm going off. There's a voice saying, do this, do this, do this. There's a number to call. All you got to do is quit the browser and then reboot your machine. It goes away. But when it's up, it is scary. It is very, very nerve-wracking.
Looks real.
And so for my students, it's just turn the machine off and call Jamie, right? So,
Right.
And then the other trick, I'll just give you guys this one for free. If it's Safari that you're in when it happens, quit Safari. But then when you reopen it, hold the Shift key down. The Shift key is going to disable the resume feature. It's not going to take you back where you were. Right. So we're very used to closing an app, reopening it. Hey, I'm on the same tabs, right? You don't want that.
Right.
Right. And so Shift will negate the resume feature and not take you back where you were.
Okay, cool.
But internet securities class. And then the week after that, iCloud and Apple IDs. So what is iCloud? What does it do? What does it not do? How do we get in control of it? And how do I get in control of my Apple ID? Change the password. What credit card's on file? Can I update the credit card? All sorts of great information on managing your subscriptions, checking your purchase history, all the things that come with having an Apple ID, having subscriptions with Apple. And then also, what does iCloud do and what does it not do? What is iCloud? So that's going to be a fun class. Nice and techy.
Well, I liked what I overheard you saying to somebody, where is iCloud?
What and where?
It's in Prineville.
Yeah, absolutely. If it's the Google,
where's the cloud? It's in Prineville, Oregon.
Prineville, Oregon. Well, it might be in the Dalles. If it's the Google cloud, that's in the Dalles. But if it's Facebook or Apple, it's probably in Prineville.
So if you think the cloud's up there, it's not. It's
east.
due east.
Right. Yeah, it's east of Salem.
Right.
Is where it actually is. We found the cloud.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Any more classes, or is that?
That's all I've got. I'm taking it easy, getting ready for Scaling New Heights.
Ooh.
So we're heading to Orlando, Florida for the Woodard Alliance's conference. And so we are, RoyalWise is going to be a sponsor. So
I get to go.
He's coming.
Get to go somewhere.
And so for all of you who are in my Intuit world who haven't met Jamie, you're going to get to meet Jamie. You'll like him. He's the funny one. And he'll even help you fix your devices right there. So if you're having trouble with your iPhone while you're at the conference, you've got somebody who can help. We are going to be having copies of all 5 of my QuickBooks textbooks. And so you can check them out. You can buy them on site. We'll be there to explain our training programs and help you out with all of that. And we're also bringing our kids, so you may even get to meet my mini me, who's actually taller than me, and there'll be a
maxi me.
Yeah, it'll be the maxi me. And also one more piece of news: QuickBooks Connect is back live again. So in December, we will be in Las Vegas. So that's going to be huge fun. So prepare for QBC in Las Vegas, and I will see you there.
Awesome. They're going to let me out of the cage.
Yeah.
They're going to let me go travel
I get
across
to
the
take 'em
country.
with me.
Yay.
Yay.
And we're even going to go to Universal Studios for a couple days. We're going to take the kids and let them actually enjoy it a little bit, maybe sit by the pool. Who knows?
Yeah. Now, the big question is, and please go down to the comments and give me your feedback on it. So if we are taking the whole family on a trip to the conference, is the whole trip tax deductible, including the time that we're staying after the conference to go to Universal Studios? If my kids come and help me in the booth, can we tax deduct the whole trip, or can we only tax deduct the part that's during the conference? So I would love to know your opinion. Please put that down in the comments.
I feel like that's almost a trap. I think you probably already know the answer, but anyway.
I'm always want to make sure that I'm doing the right
Tell
thing.
us what you think. And with that, that's been live from the OWLS Nest. Thanks for spending this time with us. This is Alicia.
He's Jamie.
And together we're Royal Wise. And we'll
see you
in
in class,
everybody.